I still see so many traders drawing trend lines completely wrong. Take Bob for example, his analysis wasn't even bad, a nice little break of trend towards the downside, maybe a Fibonacci acting as a resistance level of the 236 Fibonacci line. He enters the trade for a sell, however Bob made a huge mistake because he only checked one time frame and this caused him to get stopped out from his own trading position. And trust me, I've been Bob. I used to draw trend lines like that too. Always getting stopped out just before the price moved exactly where I thought it would. Once I actually learned how to draw trend lines properly, I stopped second guessing myself and started banking clean, confident, great trades. Okay, so first let's clear up the basics before we start making the same mistakes Bob made. We need to understand, what are trend lines really? Why do we even use them in the first place? Trend lines are just straight lines connecting swing highs and swing lows, but they are not perfect. They are there to give us strong market structure bias. They can help us spot where the price might bounce or break out. And trend lines, just like support and resistance, they are not exact points, they are zones. Let me show you. So looking at this trend line, nothing is wrong with it, but it's actually a zone. So if we connect it like this, we can actually see where the price might actually turn around, react, bounce off, breakout. We really want to give space for movement to confirm there's an actual bounce or a breakout in the market. Otherwise, we never actually know what's going on in the market because the market makers are tricky. And the very first thing we need to understand is the market always moves in a push exhaustion cycle. Look at this, push, exhaustion, push. What does that mean? That means that the market typically respects the previous area of sensitivity. We can also call this lower highs and lower lows. So that would be a lower high over here. That would be a new lower low. If we simply use a horizontal line tool, we can see that there is support and resistance areas at the top and at the bottom. And this move extends throughout the whole trend. If we drag this along, as you can see, this has been respected yet again. We can move another bar just over here, respected the support and resistance one more time. Look at this. Again, over here, we can drag this along. Boom. Does that make sense? The market structure is there. Look at this. Push, exhaustion, push. A nice push back. Maybe a consolidation zone over here. Nonetheless, it's a nice push back towards our area of trend line zone. You would enter over here. Boom. You make money with this nice little move towards the downside because it made a new lower low over here. That means the trend will likely continue. Another exhaustion back where? To the previous area of resistance, which is where the trend line area zone. This is where you enter the trading position yet again, and boom, you are making money one more time. And knowing this simple market structure, you could have placed maybe 3 to 4 trades and they would have been hella profitable. So when you stop looking for perfection and actually start finding reaction zones, that's where trades start to make sense, because not only you're trading of the trend line points, you're trading of the zone, you have some confluence, you have support and resistance, you can add a few indicators. We'll take a look at that just in a moment, but it all makes sense, right? Okay, so understanding trends is one thing, drawing them is another. Let me show you a channel, let's say, where the market is trending down. How do you actually utilize a bearish channel? We start by connecting the most obvious points of structure, right? The high and the low. Keep it clean, keep it simple. Typically, a trend starts if there's 2 points of contact. Once the third one happens, you can enter the trade long in this case. 1, 2, 3 over here, you could enter a trade short in that case as well. Of course, the lines we're drawn is not a zone, so we need to imagine them. So keep this in your mind. Maybe a centimeter or so is typically good enough when you're looking at the market. So let me show you the reason why the zones work. Look at this. The market is currently trending towards the upside in the channel and starts breaking out, right? We have a breakout of the channel. So what do? So instead of panicking, we will use higher time frames to confirm the zone is actually not broken. So this is the 1 hour time frame. What do? We go inside the 4 hour time frame, and let's just take a look at what happened. The 4 hour time frame is a clear rejection candlestick, a nice upper shadow candlestick, meaning that likely the trend will continue and likely gonna push this trade further down. So if you had a mental note of the zone on the 1 hour time frame, you would have seen that rejection happening. But of course, we want to use multiple time frame analysis just to confirm what we are seeing, because this is a mental note. But You know, that's the way I like to do it. You can do it a little bit differently if you like. And as we can see, that breakout is a fake out, right? You could have potentially, if you're not careful, open a trading position, maybe a buy after the breakout. And what would happen? The pair starts dropping down and you're losing money. So this is very important, because otherwise the result is we're losing $1,000 or whatever you're trading for absolutely no reason. This could have been 100% preventable. So if you get stuck in these type of trading positions, you're at fault, not even the market. It's obvious as it can be, but you didn't wait for market confirmation. Maybe you didn't know, maybe nobody taught you, whatever. Need to fix it. The most important tip I can give you is trend lines are not permanent. You cannot just draw a trend line and expect it's going to respect it magically for some reason. You always need to expect the unexpected. So that is why I'm giving you some space and leeway. If there is a zone or something, it's much easier to trade than the exact trading point, because if you just do the exact trading point and your trend line is a little bit off, it could give you a fake out signal. That's all I'm saying. And you start losing money trading trend lines. And that doesn't make sense, because trend lines are a great tool if you use it right. The market evolves and your trend line should evolve too. Okay, now we have trend lines locked in right inside our brains, and we can finally start learning a trading strategy. I like to call it the bounce. It's the simple trading strategy there is in trend trading. So let me show you how to execute it properly. Look at this. 1 is a trend line. Nice little trend towards the upside. 2 is the support, you know, the structure. 3 is the resistance or the previous area of sensitivity, because support becomes resistance once it's broken and vice versa. And we can see this structure coming along nicely. What do we do with this structure? Well, it's simple. We want to use a Fibonacci line. Why? Because if we draw from the bottom to the top, we can actually have a nice little exhaustion in the golden area, which is around 0.50 to 618 is the golden zone. And as we can see, these are the 2 golden lines that we are looking at. And this is a great support area. As we can see, we could have potentially already entered here. Nice little push here, nice little push here, probably another push towards the upside because the trend is there. And look at this with a nice confluence, because we had 1, 2, 3 touch pattern over here. What do you think is gonna happen when I click the replay? Look, nice little push towards the upside. This could have been a solid trade just because we are trading with Confluence, right? We are not taking this trade randomly. We have solid confirmation. We have somewhere to aim for. Look at this. Nice little previous area of sensitivity. So your take profit level should be aiming in this area zone. So if we just do this, there we go, 76 pips, potentially 23 pips, maybe a little bit more. 2.62 risk to reward ratio. What's not to like? You have the nice Fibonacci, you have the nice market structure. You know that the market is moving push exhaustion cycle, right? Every time the market comes back to the previous area sensitivity, you're looking for confluence. The confluence is clearly in the support area, the Fibonacci line, and the trend line, the 1, 2, 3 touch pattern over here. Boom, is shooting towards the upside. You made money simply with the bounce trendline trading strategy. There we go, no problem. And if for some reason you think I'm cherry picking this, look at this. We could have done the same thing over here. Look at this. Boom, boom. What's happening over here? Oh, a trend. Look at this. Nice little support. 0.550, 618. The trend starts over here. What are you doing? You know, easy. Obviously, 1, 2 touches, of course, only over here, but the confluence is strong. I would have taken this trade easily, because you take this trade over here, you aim for around here, nice little stop loss around here. This would have been a great position. Look at this. Boom, maybe 66 pips, boom, 30, 2.16 risk to reward ratio. Easy money to be made. GBP USD. You could have done this easily. Learn this. Okay, now let's talk about a breakout strategy, because sometimes the trend doesn't last and it breaks out. What do? Well, the first thing you want to do is obviously wait for the break. The breakout happens, right? We need to wait for an exhaustion. Typically, after a breakout, it doesn't typically drop like that. It can drop like that, by the way, but it typically doesn't. It's gonna have a push exhaustion scenario to the previous area of sensitivity, which was around here. This is the resistance. Now listen up. This was the previous low zone. So push exhaustion, boom, broke out, right? But we have this area zone over here that we need to pass as well, because this is like a solid box over here. We need to pass this box, and if this low kind of breaks out, that is a solid breakout confirmation. So we can mark this area zone over here and wait for a solid breakout, because we don't know. Maybe it's a fake out, maybe it's a breakout. We need to find out. After a couple of candlesticks, boom, it breaks out nicely the previous area zone. Now, we can confirm this breakout by going into the higher time frame. So whichever time frame you're trading, let's say you're trading hourly, do 4 hour. If you're trading daily, do weekly. If you're trading 4 hour, do daily. Use a 4 times rule, basically. 4 times bigger is good enough. Anyway, we look at the daily, nice little solid breakout confirmation over here. Definitely the market trend is currently shifting, and likely now bearish pressure is going to be dominating. Heading back to the 4 hour time frame, what do? Well, we don't really want to enter a trade just over here, because it doesn't give a solid risk to reward ratio, right? Because we would have to cover this area zone, and if we have to, the stop loss has to be pretty big, around 92 pips. And then what's your take profit? Maybe somewhere around here, you know, maybe you could risk it at the bottom. Not great. I don't like this trading position. You can do it if you like. Some people do it. I don't like it because of the bad risk to reward ratio. What I like to do is wait for push exhaustion cycles. So what do? We wait for an exhaustion, right? Pushing towards the downside. Look at this. We are expecting a exhaustion at some point, right? What's happening? Boom, going towards the upside. Look at this. It's near this area zone. What can we do? We know the market has shifted now from a bullish market going towards the upside to a bearish market heading towards the downside. This move over here doesn't matter because the trend has shifted, right? We know that bears are in the control, right? And they're not always going to be there. They're like soldiers, you know, they're attacking enemy territory. They're resting over here, and that's where the bullish candles start, you know, gathering their forces, you know, maybe back up. And that's where the price kind of stays over here for a little bit before bears start attacking again. So what do? We can draw a Fibonacci one more time. Look at this. We're still in a nice level. 05618 is the golden zone over here. We could potentially enter a short position around here. Much lower stop loss because this previous area sensitivity is now which was a support zone has now become a resistance zone, and this becomes a beautiful trade because we have somewhere to aim for. If we have somewhere to aim for, our take profit and stop loss levels become nice. 232 risk to reward ratio, and let's just play it. Let's see what happens. It goes towards the upside a little bit, boom, goes towards the downside nicely, and the trend continues, right? And the new trend happens, then you can do the same thing. Look at this. You can do the same thing over here. The channel starts literally no problems. This is the way you trade, and you use multiple time frame analysis to confirm the trades. You can even use RSI, stochastic RSI, an oscillator indicator which tells you when the market has been overbought and oversold. We can even have a look. Stochastic RSI, boom. Look at this. Market is overbought. Overbought in this position. We have strong confluence, right? One confluence. Fibonacci is a confluence. Previous area of sensitivity. 3 confluence plus the trend, right? The trend obviously 1, 2 touches over here, but that confluence is good enough because we utilize the other trend line over here to give us more information. Trend lines don't have to be the recent ones to make sense. If the old one has broken from the bullish area to the bearish area, this is a good enough reason, a good enough confluence for me to think, okay, well, bears are in charge, right? So the market will likely go down. Push exhaustion, push, right? And then the market starts dipping down nicely. Easy. So we covered how to trade the bounce of the trend, how to trade the break of the trend. But trust me, there's still a lot of mistakes traders make. I have a signals group. A lot of people talk to me and send me, you know, their strategies, analysis, and I look at them and I see a lot of trend line mistakes. So let me discuss the number one mistake traders make. Drawing a trend on every tiny swing. Something like this, you know, all these fucking popsicles, you know, something like this. Drawing a, oh, it's a trend, you know, here is a trend. You're gonna go mental if you draw like that. Focus on the major trend, right? If you see something big, open the chart wide enough, see something that makes sense, draw a trend. Don't worry about some freaking noise, you don't want to worry about no noise because you're gonna get confused. Draw a solid trend, 4-hour daily time frame, whatever you're trading, and look at that. Trust me, it's gonna keep everything simple, clean, and you're gonna be way better off, I promise you. Another mistake is entering when the price has touched your line. For some reason, when the price has touched your line, you believe that the market will go up and you're gonna make money. That's not how trading works. I wish it did, because a lot of people would make a lot of money if it was that simple, but unfortunately it's not. If it's dropping down like that, you need confluence. If there's no confluence, there's no trade. So look at this. If we took this trading position for a buy, we would definitely lose. Let's say we bought this position. Look what happens. Boom, it starts dropping down. Why? Because there was no confluence. You didn't base your trade on anything. Just a line that you draw that doesn't make sense. You need some confluence. Maybe a swing high, swing low. Look at this. Nice little golden zone over here. That's where you could start making money. Look at this. This is a solid zone. This becomes a trend. That starts making sense now. And now you could potentially enter a buy trading position over here. And now, eventually you start making money. Please remember that your confluence can be different. Just because I use Fibonacci's, you don't have to. Just make sure you use something that identifies a confluence. You have reasons for taking the trade, right? I know a lot of people now trade ICT strategies, silver bullet strategies, whatever strategy you like. It's based on price action anyway. You're still looking at the price, you're still looking at the candlesticks, you just interpret it a little bit differently. And it's totally fine as long as you have many reasons for the trade, right? If you have 4 reasons, 5 reasons for the trade, maybe use a stochastic, trendline, Fibonacci, moving averages, whatever. You have a strong confidence that this trade will work out. Likely it will. You're basing your trading decisions on solid logic, and that's what works in trading. So cleaning up these few bad habits will definitely make your trades cleaner. You're gonna have more confidence in your trades. You're not gonna be panicking and looking at your phone every single second because you placed a trade with logic. Anyway, I'd like to invite every single one of you to my VIP trading signals. We've been smashing the markets as always. My name's Evaldas. I've been trading for over 10 years now, specifically Forex. So if you have anything Forex related or want to learn Forex, this channel is for you. So subscribe. And if you want to learn a little bit more, consider watching this video next.